As we get closer to spring, we not only get closer to some warmer weather, but also a warmer real estate market. And even though we just got into February, I'm already hearing a lot of chatter about the market starting to pick up. So in today's video, we're going to talk about if the real estate market is really heating up, what are buyers and sellers actually experiencing right now, and what do the numbers tell us. My name is Jessie McLellan, and I'm a realtor here in Oshawa, Ontario with the Lisa Abbott Team. I do my best to bring you videos just like this one that help keep you informed about everything that's happening in our local real estate market, especially here in Durham Region. So if you want to stay up to date on the market trends and changes, then please subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy these videos, please hit that like button for me. The first thing I want to talk about is the real estate market really heating up? Well, what does heating up mean? If you're asking if prices are soaring at an alarming rate and if we're seeing similar activity that we saw at the peak of the market, then no. But if you're asking if activity overall is increasing and if we still have relatively low inventory that's causing us to see more competition in certain areas and price points, then yes, absolutely. From my experience right now, it feels like the beginning stages of a market transitioning from the slowest time of year into the busiest time of the year. There's been a significant increase to the number of properties receiving multiple offers and high competition. Over the last few weeks, I've had multiple notifications from homes that have shown in Oshawa and Durham Region that have seen a high number of offers. I'm talking about a couple of homes that have seen 40 or 50 plus offers, which is insane because a month or two ago, it was rare to see 3 offers on a property. However, this is not the norm and the majority of homes are not experiencing this level of activity. The homes that are seeing this kind of activity are homes that are priced on the lower side, they have a wow factor to them, and they appeal to a large variety of buyers. Some of those homes did sell at a price that I thought was a little above fair market value at that time, but if you're a buyer right now in Durham Region, there are so many other great opportunities available with less competition. For most people, it's going to make sense to pivot to one of those other homes rather than getting involved in a bidding war with that many offers. And the real estate market can be funny sometimes, especially when we're transitioning into a busier market. The same day I received notifications about 55 offers on a listing that I had just shown, I was also receiving notifications from another listing that was planning to review offers and they had received none, and they indicated that their client was very motivated to get a deal done as soon as possible. So while there was 55 people competing with each other to see who could pay the most over market value, there was another home that was pretty much begging for someone to bring an offer. And that's the nature of this market right now. You're going to see both ends of the spectrum until things pick up a little bit more. That's what Lisa and I have been experiencing with our clients recently. Before I get into advice for buyers and sellers, let's take a look at what the numbers say. When comparing January's numbers year over year, we're not that far from where we started in 2023. Currently, our average sale price for Durham Region is at $894,000, which is less than 1% higher than last year. We had 828 new listings in January, which was only 4% less than last year, but our number of transactions was 36% higher this year as we saw 539 sales happen in January. And according to our booking system, Durham Region has seen a 27% higher volume of showings booked compared to the beginning of last year. For some context, the 394 sales we saw last January was the lowest number of sales in any January in Durham Region for well over a decade. So seeing activity picking up this year isn't that outside of the historical norm. Our situation is still very similar to what we were facing last year in regards to pressure on renewing homeowners and lack of buyer affordability due to interest rates and high home prices though. With the number of new listings being lower and sales being higher than what we saw last January, that means our current inventory levels are a bit lower than we experienced last year, and that is going to contribute to how competitive the market is for buyers as well. Now, taking a look at how the market has progressed since December, we saw the new listings increase substantially from 472 in December to 828 in January, which is a step in the right direction. But between the increase in sales and the number of listings that were terminated and suspended, our active listings actually dropped month over month. We ended January with 751 active listings in Durham Region. At the time I'm recording this, we're still in that same range, so hopefully for the sake of a more balanced market, we don't see those active listings drop lower from where they're at now. Our months of inventory for January was 1.4. That's down from 1.8 in December and 2.7 in November. The days on market for January actually increased from 25 to 33 days on market, which has to be the highest we've seen in quite a while. Initially, I found it a bit surprising because throughout January, we saw activity pick up way more than we did in December, and I know some properties sold much quicker than I was expecting, so I thought maybe we'd see that number drop a little bit down to 21 or 22, but I think the reason it is 33 days is because when the market shifts from really slow towards a more active market, one of the things we start to notice is that homes that were on the market for 30 or 40 plus days will see the spike in activity that seems to come out of nowhere. And it's usually because buyer activity has picked up and some newer listings start seeing multiple offers or prices selling a little bit higher. So buyers start to circle back to these homes with a higher days on market. And I noticed that happening a lot in January. Lots of homes I was following for clients that were on the market for weeks or in some cases months, all of a sudden got 1 or 2 offers and sold in January. So if the stats reflect what I personally experienced, I would assume the days on market is showing really high because so many stale listings found buyers in January. So that would be when the days on market gets officially counted. That's just my opinion. If you have another idea, feel free to comment it below. And the last notable change in Durham Region from December to January was the pricing. We saw the average price increase from $860,000 to $894,000. December is always a very slow month for real estate, and it's often when we see some of the best deals get done. So I personally lean more towards comparing January's price to November's, which was $883,000. And that to me makes the most sense given what I'm experiencing right now. Activity and buyer competition has increased slightly. We've seen some homes selling a bit higher than they may have a month or two prior, but we're certainly not seeing any massive price increases at this point in time. This time of year is when the market can change at a rapid rate though, so it's important to keep your eye on what's happening because it can change week to week. Last year we saw bond yields drop, causing lower fixed rate options to become available to buyers, and the market moved upwards very quickly. And then when the rate increases came, it moved down fairly quickly as well. There's no guarantee what happens this spring. Bond yields were low in January, but they've started creeping back up, so eventually mortgage rates will likely creep back up as well, and that may be enough to keep the spring market from getting out of control. The biggest factors to pay attention to are going to be inventory levels and mortgage rates for both buyers and sellers. Because the mortgage rates being offered directly impacts how much buyers can spend, and when buyers can spend more, prices tend to go up, and inventory levels can impact how fast those prices move. If you're selling a home now or in the near future, take advantage of this bump in activity. I'm always advocating for doing it right the first time and presenting your home in the best way possible, and now is no different. You've got homes getting 55 offers and other homes getting nothing. If you're selling right now, which home would you like to be? If you want to be the one with 55 offers, then you have to do it right. And those homes getting the offers and the results right now are not cutting corners and putting it up with bad photos, a bad price, and no staging. Those homes are marketed and priced in a way that appeals to as many different types of buyers as possible. And when you come across their listing online, it makes you say, I've got to see it. If your home doesn't do that, if the price is off, if the photos look plain, you're not going to get anyone excited and you're not going to be one of the few homes getting all of the attention. Don't think your home has to be perfect either. It's not about being perfect. It's just about presenting your home in a way that makes others fall in love with it just like you did. I'm always happy to talk more with you about that, so feel free to give me a call or use the link in the description to book one. And as for buyers, I would say to expect this market to be busier than December for sure. And as we get closer to spring, that will gradually get more and more active. But don't rush into something that doesn't feel right. If you're watching videos like this and you're taking your search seriously, you're trying to learn and understand the market and home values as you go, you're doing really well and you're going to find something. Adjust your approach to the changing market conditions as you see fit. You might need to move a little quicker to get out to see homes if the homes you're looking at are starting to sell faster, but just try to find that balance of taking the time to make sure you're making the right decision, but also understanding that the market is going to start moving a little bit quicker as we get closer to the spring. I think if you keep that in mind and you're doing your due diligence and working with someone who is knowledgeable and who you honestly feel like they have your best interest in mind, then don't get rattled or feel too pressured. Trust the process and make informed decisions. If you'd like to speak with me about buying or selling a home here in or around Durham Region, or if you just have a couple questions, please feel free to use the link in the description where you can book a call with me at a time that works best for you. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!